So I got shot in the eye. It was not fun. I am safe. I got shot here. It is still inside. There's a fragment there. There's a fragment here. We cleaned that out. I'm very grateful.
41-year-old former Disney star Christy Carlson Romano has come forward to share her harrowing story about almost losing an eye after being shot in the face 4 months ago. While guest starring on the Not a Damn Chance podcast, she explained that she and her husband, Brendan Rooney, were shooting clay pigeons for Rooney's birthday when the incident occurred. Romano said that she was not at liberty to discuss exactly how the shooting happened, but she revealed that she was hit in at least 5 places, coming within just 1 millimeter of blinding her. She went on to say that another party caused birdshot to spray in her direction, but that the person responsible did not act out of malice. Romano described feeling shocked and out of body during her initial realization that she had been shot. She didn't scream, but kneeled on the ground, prompting her husband to notice that she had been struck. Since then, the former actress has focused on spreading awareness about the importance of gun safety. Number 14. Silento. Best known for his hit song, Watch Me, Whip Nana. Atlanta-based rapper Silento was sentenced to 30 years in prison on Wednesday after pleading guilty, but mentally ill to the killing of his 34-year-old cousin. Known by his legal name Ricky Lamar Hawk, the 27-year-old musician admitted to charges of voluntary manslaughter, aggravated assault, possessing a gun while committing a crime, and concealing the death of another. In exchange for his guilty pleas, prosecutors dropped a murder charge. The victim, Frederick Rooks III, was found dead outside a suburban home near Decatur, Georgia, during the early morning hours of January 21st, 2021, with gunshot wounds to the leg and face. His body was surrounded by 10 shell casings, and a white BMW was seen speeding away from the scene shortly after the shots rang out. Eyewitness statements and other evidence connected Silento to the crime, and he confessed roughly 10 days after his arrest. Number 13. Connor Smith. 24-year-old country singer Connor Smith accidentally struck and killed an elderly woman with his pickup truck in Nashville, Tennessee, last weekend. He was driving his Chevy Silverado when he hit the victim, who has been identified by authorities as 77-year-old Dorothy Dobbins. The victim was rushed to the nearby Vanderbilt University Medical Center, where she died from her injuries. According to a police spokesperson, Smith failed to yield the right-of-way but did not show any signs of intoxication at the scene. No charges have been brought against the singer, but the investigation is reportedly ongoing. Smith has yet to comment on the matter, but his attorney has confirmed his involvement in an accident that resulted in the tragic loss of a human life. Number 12. Navdeep Singh. A Long Island, New York construction boss is accused of hiring a hitman to kill his business rival, only for the paid assassin to get cold feet and reveal the murder plot to law enforcement. According to prosecutors, 48-year-old Navdeep Singh offered the contract killer $100,000 and a 10-acre plot of land in India in exchange for the hit on his enemy, whom he was entangled in a bitter multi-million-dollar legal dispute with. He is now facing criminal solicitation and felony conspiracy charges. The feud between Singh and his rival began 2 years ago after their amicable business relationship turned sour due to a falling out. The ongoing civil lawsuit followed, and authorities say that Singh sought to have his rival kidnapped, tortured, and killed. He reportedly requested proof of the murder in the form of photos showing the dead victim's head and torso. During Singh's first court hearing, the judge ordered him to be held in lieu of $1 million cash bail or a bond of up to $5 million, granting the prosecution's request for a high bond due to the dangerousness of the situation. Number 11. Julian Mendez. 46-year-old death row inmate Julian Mendez was killed following a recent altercation at California's Kern Valley State Prison. According to reports, the incident began when 36-year-old Mario Renteria began beating Mendez at around 10:30 in the morning. The men failed to comply with corrections officers' orders to get down, prompting staff members to release chemical agents. And while the agents initially worked, more than 30 additional prisoners joined in on the fight by attacking Renteria. Left with no other perceived option, prison employees fired multiple blast grenades in order to get the situation under control. Mendez was treated for multiple wounds but succumbed to his injuries and was pronounced dead 35 minutes after the fight began. Officers found an improvised weapon at the scene but have not disclosed what type of weapon it was. The investigation is ongoing. In the meantime, Renteria remains in restricted housing. Number 10. Krystal Rivera. 36-year-old Chicago police officer Krystal Rivera was killed in a tragic case of friendly fire when she was accidentally shot by her partner during a recent chase inside a residence. In a statement, a law enforcement spokesperson revealed that Rivera's partner was the only person who fired a weapon while the two officers were pursuing a suspect who was armed with a rifle. Rivera, who was a mother to a young child, was fatally shot in the back amid the chaos. She died at a nearby hospital less than an hour after being struck by the bullet and rushed to the emergency room in a squad car that crashed and started on fire due to malfunction. The suspect brandishing the rifle, identified by police as 25-year-old Adrian Rucker of Freeport, Illinois, is accused of pointing the weapon at police. He's facing multiple charges, including armed violence and having an invalid ID, and remains held without bail as he awaits his next court hearing. Number 9. Christy Carlson Romano.
Her fiance, Mr. Jimmie Ward, slapped her in the face, strangled her, and threatened to kill her. She stated that she felt pain in her throat and was unable to breathe before she was able to get up off of her and get out of their house and call 911.
Houston Texans player Jimmie Ward is facing a felony assault family violence charge following a domestic disturbance at his home in Magnolia on Thursday morning. Police arrested the 33-year-old shortly after 5:30 in the morning, and the Texans have acknowledged their knowledge of the incident but have yet to comment on the matter. Ward reportedly strangled, threatened, and assaulted his fiancée, who has obtained an order of protection against him. The NFL player has been released on a $30,000 bond. Ward's future in pro football could potentially be in jeopardy, according to reports. After beginning his 11-year career with the San Francisco 49ers, he's currently in the midst of a $10.5 million two-year contract extension with the Texans. Number 8. Deadly slip and fall. An unnamed 18-year-old hiker fell 50 feet to his death in Washington state after slipping and falling at the top of Sol Duke Falls in Olympic National Park. The tragedy occurred last Sunday when the teen lost his footing. He resurfaced briefly at the bottom of the falls but quickly disappeared beneath the water's surface and drowned. Search and rescue efforts began immediately, but the recovery of the victim's body was complicated by difficult river conditions, including high water levels resulting from the rapid melting of snow. Additionally, the cliffs that the teen fell from were slippery and covered in moss. Initial attempts to find the young man were unsuccessful, but a park ranger discovered the body more than 24 hours after the accident occurred. The teen was found pinned in a narrow space between waterfalls, bringing the drawn-out multi-agency search to an end. Number 7. Rodney and Tanisha Finley. A Nevada couple has been shot dead by a fellow YouTuber while live streaming on the Las Vegas Strip. 44-year-old Rodney Finley of Clark County and his wife, 43-year-old Tanisha Finley, both succumbed to multiple gunshot wounds last Sunday evening after their broadcast was interrupted by a hail of bullets. The pair were filming near the famed Bellagio fountains when they were targeted by the suspect, who they had been entangled in a long-standing social media feud against. According to reports, the beef began as far back as 2023. Identified by police as 41-year-old Manuel D. Ruiz, the suspect is being held without bail on 2 accounts of open murder with a deadly weapon. A law enforcement spokesperson stated that the killing was an isolated incident, which poses no ongoing threat to the public. According to court documents, Ruiz claimed he was acting in self-defense against the Finleys, who could be seen pulling a gun and firing 5 to 6 shots in footage captured by the victim's camera. He told police that he also had a YouTube channel and that he began shooting because he believed one of the Finleys were reaching for a weapon. Whether or not his story holds up in court remains to be seen. Number 6. Makayla Fortner. Arkansas high school student Makayla Fortner was mauled to death while attempting to carry out a kind deed by feeding a pack of 30 to 40 stray dogs. She was trying to deliver some much-needed nourishment to the starving canines who had been neglected by their owner at a property in Alexander. Fortner and her mother had been attempting to care for the dogs after noticing the deplorable conditions that they were forced to live in. A witness described seeing a responding officer firing multiple gunshots in order to get the attack under control, but it was too late to save Fortner by the time law enforcement arrived at the scene. For months, neighbors had reportedly complained about the state of the property and the overgrown size of the dog pack, which was often seen running loosely throughout the area. Saline County officials failed to take action, telling local residents that there was nothing they could do about the situation due to a lack of animal control officials. 14 of the dogs have been euthanized, while 4 others were left inside the residence for the time being. Number 5. Ruslan Huseynov. A 34-year-old Missouri man named Ruslan Huseynov has been arrested in connection with the shooting death of 50-year-old sports reporter Dennis Sharkey Jr., who was killed 6 months ago in Plate County. The incident occurred in Kansas City, where officers responded to a reported shooting between vehicles on the evening of January 10th. A man and his girlfriend had been driving behind Huseynov's and Sharkey's vehicles when both cars came to a stop along Interstate 29, blocking the couple's car and forcing them to also stop. After being shot, Sharkey lost control of his vehicle and crashed. He was rushed to a nearby hospital where he was pronounced dead from his injuries. Huseynov was linked to the crime through suspicious cell phone data and other evidence, resulted in his recent arrest on suspicion of murder. He remains held without bond amid the ongoing case. Number 4. Austria school shooting. 10 people were killed on Tuesday after an armed shooter opened fire on staff and students at a school in Graz, Austria. The unnamed gunman, who has been described as a 21-year-old former student at the school, was also found dead at the scene by responding police officers. Included among the victims were 9 teenagers and 1 teacher. Investigators reportedly learned valuable information about the shooting while searching the suspect's home, which contained a note penned by the killer and a non-functional pipe bomb. He did not graduate from the school, according to reports, but authorities have yet to identify the accused shooter or his alleged motive for committing the massacre. A law enforcement spokesperson has revealed that the suspect owned both of the 2 guns that were used in the attack, but that he should not have been allowed to carry them under any circumstances. The investigation is ongoing. Number 3. Chandler Cardente. A 30-year-old criminal from Rhode Island has been sentenced to 35 years in federal prison for violating a young girl and then plotting her murder while in jail for the charges relating to his abuse. Chandler Cardente lured his victim by posing as a 17-year-old online. He picked her up in his car in December of 2021, by which point he had already been convicted of previous crimes against children. Cardente drove the victim to several locations while repeatedly forcing himself on her. He was taken into state custody, where he proceeded to offer to pay someone $200 in cash and $1,500 worth of tattooing equipment in exchange for the girl's murder. The convicted predator was already serving a 35-year state prison sentence when he pleaded guilty to federal charges in March of 2025. His federal sentence will run concurrently to his state term, with an earliest possible release date of 2056. Number 2. Fernando Mercado. While responding to a 911 call at around 4 o'clock in the morning recently, police in Hamilton, New Jersey found a young girl and her parents dead inside the family's home. 42-year-old Clarabel Torres and her daughter, Evangelina Velasquez, had been murdered by Clarabel's boyfriend, 42-year-old Fernando Mercado, who was also found dead at the scene. Responding officers also found 2 other children who were unharmed. According to a GoFundMe page set up by Evangelina's biological father, the girl was killed while bravely defending her mother and younger siblings. Authorities have yet to reveal what they believe led up to the killings, which remain largely shrouded in mystery. Number 1. Marcus Monzo. Previously unseen shocking footage released last week shows the moment an accused killer attacked British police officers with a samurai sword after using the weapon to kill a teenager named Daniel Anjorin in East London. The victim was on his way to school in Hainault when the incident occurred. The disturbing spate of violence occurred in April of 2024, but the video was only shared with the public recently. Amid the accused killer, Marcus Monzo's ongoing trial, Monzo denies murder and 4 counts of attempted murder for his actions during the 20-minute violent rampage. In addition to murdering Anjorin, he's accused of entering the home of Cindy Arias and Henry de los Rios Polina and attacking the pair in front of their young child. Monzo also allegedly attacked police officers PC Yasmin Mesham-Whitfield and Inspector Malloy Campbell, whom he refused to cooperate with when ordered to stop what he was doing. The outcome of the case remains to be seen.